Good morning. It's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I'm back Sunday, August 9th. Yeah. So yesterday was a Lionsgate portal. If you believe in all of that, if you connect with the energy of it, and apparently it was like there's a lot of astrological stuff happening in Leo. The 12th is going to be a solar eclipse with a new moon in Leo. So the idea is kind of like if you like a new moon, you would set intentions for what you want to bring in, but the solar eclipse is really about like releasing and letting go and like stepping into your authentic you. So are you being authentically you in with this eclipse in Leo? Whatever way it wants to go. Okay, that's better. um so yeah, who's here? Say hello. It's good to see you. I am back in my house. Oh shoot, I didn't tell my kid to get off. Let me send her a text. Maybe she'll see it. I've got Mallory for one and Catherine. I don't know what your screen name is for two. I'm sorry, I don't remember your screen name. How are you, Mallory? If you want to go ahead and ask your question. Yeah, so I'm back inside the house. We'll see how this works. If I start freezing, then I will go sit outside on my phone. Look at nature. It was really cute. This week I took my daughter to her orthodontist appointment, and there's a little boy in the waiting room waiting for his sister to be worked on, and he had special needs, and it was really cute because he was like standing in between my daughter and I, and he was like, "What's your name?" And I thought he was talking to my daughter. I was like, "Oh, her name is, you know." And he's like, "No, I'm talking to you. What's your name?" I was like, "Oh, it's Anna." And he goes, "Like Frozen?" I was like, "Well, I mean, yeah, yes, but spelled differently." And he's like, "Frozen is on right now." And I was like, "It's my movie." General again? Okay. Wait, can I ask, did you have move out date? Meaning, did he move out? Let me just turn that bad boy down. Okay. Okay. So it feels like energetically there's a big gate opening up for you. Um are you having low back pain today? Like I just feel kind of cranky in my low back, and in my chest and my heart chakra I just feel really excited but also a little nervous, that that nervous excitement, butterfly feeling. Um so they're sort of talking about, it's interesting because this is an amalgamation of your guides and Tony talking. And Tony's not really a guide, but he's like, yeah, yeah, what they're saying. Like he's emphasizing this, that part of going through this connection with this particular gentleman was about relearning who you are. Um, I feel like you were really fortunate in that. So even if you maybe kind of had difficulties in childhood, like self-esteem issues, like Tony fell in your lap as I don't want to say like a fluke, but more like didn't follow the pattern of the way things normally work, right? Um, like you should have had this guy first is the feeling I get, meaning like normal patterns are you have the really chaotic, destructive, not healthy relationship first, and then you like figure out who you are, and then hi Joelle, and then you get like the great healthy relationship. And you did yours in reverse. Hi Catherine, how are you? I got your payment for your questions. And so they're sort of saying like this is like that was your time to figure out who you are, if that makes sense. And they're saying like the next 3 months is sort of like this clearing out of energetically clearing out from you energetically, from physically, your house energetically kind of stuff. And moving into the life that you want. I don't know if there's a worry that this guy is like, you're going to hear from him again, but they're like, you're never going to hear from him again. You won't. It's almost already a feeling like he's already moved on. When I read that, where you said you're trying to figure out the new you, I almost felt like taking a step back, but it feels more like not getting back to who you were, but there's this idea of like, there's a combination of who you used to be with Tony into moving into who you are now, a more empowered being. My sense is that when Tony passed, it's like that's where all the stuff, the insecurities and stuff sort of like came into play from like your childhood. Like that's where they all sort of stepped into. Like somehow he was keeping them at bay. And it's this unfortunate thing that like, part of being human is going through and having this, like these difficulties and these struggles that we overcome, right? What is it, like the fool's journey? I mean, that's like being human. This idea that literally my lights just like went, like the electricity went like kind of blinked. And I think that's funny that right after I said like that's part of being human. It was like, yep. When there's spiritual people who are like, I want to be an ascended master, I want to be like enlightened. And so you see these people like the real authentic coaches out there who are talking about stuff, and they say things like they'll go through this love coach Kayla. I really like her just as a person. She's a really good person, but like she was talking about how like, I like just to like experience, like she's at this point where she just liked to experience. And then she was like, okay, so I had this event happen. I totally crashed out. And like, that's kind of what it's like. You're going to be riding high for a little bit. And then sometimes you're going to have moments where you're just like, oh shit. And you kind of take a step back and you're like, oh God, I gotta like reorient my brain, get my brain into this. And that's the human experience. If you were meant to have anything different, everybody would be having that, right? So I feel like 3 months is sort of going to be your step back time. I don't know that you'll be jumping into dating apps. I feel like when you meet this next person, it's going to be either like through connections with people or through doing activities that you're like kind of getting back to yourself, and you have things that you like, and you meet him through that. Do you have a Pomeranian? I just keep seeing a little Pomeranian, like a light colored one, not a red color one. Or black, but like those little, it's not white, it's like maybe tan-ish. I truly do not want to be in another relationship, or if I meet someone, it will definitely be organically. Yeah, you will be in another relationship. And I know that feeling of being in that space where you never, like, there was years where I was like, if this ends, when this ends. Because at a point it was when, not if. I was like, never, ever again. I will never let anybody in again. And I'm sort of open to it now, but like very tepid about it. Like, I will definitely not ignore red flags, that kind of stuff. So I get it. And like, I was talking with a friend about it because I had somebody predict something for me back in 2020 that was like, yeah, like you're going to meet the person through your circle of friends. And she mentioned a name. And I was like, could it be this name? Instead, it was like similar. She's like, yeah, but now, because at the time I was not friends with anybody with that name. And now I have a friend and that's her name. And I'm like, so we were joking around about it. She's like, so what's your type? And I was like, nice. The bar is so low. And, but like, I know it's not going to be through apps. And even just like the thought of getting on an app is like, just nice, honest, likes to take accountability. Like, bar's not too high here. So yeah. Okay, so that will shift for you. That feeling of like being open to it will shift. And it's like, I think that's like, the 3 months is like kind of the hardcore period of like just really focusing on you and knowing that. So if everything is a belief system, it's knowing then that not everybody is out there that's like that. And then knowing that also you can trust yourself to see the red flags and to listen to them and trust your intuition and not ignore it. And that you'll meet somebody who also will be patient through that, right? Meaning they'll understand that that is part of who you are. Catherine, what are you doing on apps? I'm kidding. She said you love apps, but you're married. You're welcome, Mallory. Okay. Hi, Katrina. How are you? Oh, you met someone, and many people I know got married in part. Listen, I met my soon-to-be ex on Match.com, so before there was apps. So I'm not saying it doesn't work for people. I'm just saying I don't know that I want, at my age, want to go back on that disastrous experience. Plus, also, if you look at my Michelle, I have your payment too. My astrological chart, it's like that's how I meet people. So I think it's interesting. I've already jumped about the person I'm going to be with. I already know. I have a pretty good idea, actually, which is interesting. But it's like not anytime soon. That's okay too. I got shit to do. Okay. Catherine, do you want to ask your questions? And then literally, who did I just say had a question? Michelle. I am doing well. I'm getting ready for my mom to visit, and I'm excited for that. I'm ready for it to not be so humid and rainy so I can just finish little tiny details on my door and not have it be sticky and gross forever. The door's not sticky and gross. The paint takes forever to dry when it's whatever. I'm back to creating more content and trying to do it regularly. Good morning, Mr. Jean. Happy Sunday. because the only way shit changes is if you show up consistently, and that's what I got to do. Let me see, Joel. I didn't see it just yet, but it doesn't mean it didn't come through. Michelle. Oh, Katrina, I got yours. I don't have yours, Joelle, but that doesn't mean sometimes it's laggy in how it comes through. Okay. Hi, Alina. How are you? You don't have to tell me where you're from. It's okay if you want to, but. Okay, so Catherine's got a general reading. I can't say your name, but hi. Smiley face, Hardy, Lucky. Let you know my daughter's home. Yay! Oh my goodness. Oh, I love that. Can you send me a picture of her? I would love to see what she looks like. Okay. So these are paid readings. When they're personal, they're paid readings. They're $12. I donate 30% to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. And then we'll do card readings for everybody can have an oracle card reading. That's free because that doesn't take anything from me. Okay, so wait, let me make my list so I don't forget. Let's see, I've got Catherine with 2. Michelle and Katrina. And Joel, I'll throw you in there because just let me know. I'm sure it's paid. Claudina, where have you been all of my life? I have missed you. It's been forever. I saw you pop up in a response to one of my stories, and I was like wondering how you are. I remember people. I think about y'all. I also don't want to be like, hey, how's it going? Because I don't want you to think like I'm just trying to do business. But I genuinely care about everybody and I want to know how you're doing. So even if you don't want to pay for a service, come in and tell me how you are. That's why I hated being an ER nurse. I'm going to do the readings. Hold on. I hated being an ER nurse because when I became extremely cynical and was like picking up the energy of that area. But I really like continuity of care. I like seeing the process. I like seeing the growth and the change and the healing and the moving on. Oh, well, come join us. Just be a part of it. I have a community set up now. You can come join the community. Just chat random thoughts and share random stuff. And I do, this month I'm doing meditations every Sunday morning. It's really only set up for once a month. And then I do a workshop every month. And there's lots of great people in it. You could totally have an oracle card reading, Namira. Okay, so let me do first thing. Catherine wants a general reading. So what does Catherine need this morning? So I feel really tight in my solar plexus chakra, and then it kind of linked up into my throat chakra. So solar plexus is how you relate to the world, how the world relates to you, and your self-esteem. And throat chakra is communication. So I do feel like unsteady and unbalanced in my solar plexus. There's a lot of stuff going on. I think you're really dehydrated too, and maybe a little bit. Do you need to eat? I feel like that feeling of not having enough nourishment. So for me, solar plexus, for what I'm feeling for you, is really more connected about feeling very concerned about how I'm being received in the world. And then I feel stagnant in my ability to advocate for myself in the way that I feel like I deserve to advocate. I feel like it's I feel as though you've had a lot of people pleasery kind of energy lately. I know none of those words are technically correct, but it's fine. It works itself out. Everybody understands, right? Right. Good. They're talking about you being the canary in the coal mine, meaning I feel like you're trying to warn people about things. and they're not listening, or maybe you're not confident enough in your own intuition. And it doesn't even feel like, it feels really surrounding around like, this person's not a good person. I was like, what do you mean? And so like that idea of being perceived as like the bad guy or whatever is sort of not sitting well with you. That's interesting. Thank you for taking the long road to get to that one. Uh, that was not for you. That was for them. I'm not smiling and laughing at you. It's like there's banter that happens there where I'm like, like, it also means you have a good sense of humor. Like, it's not you. There's this idea, like you have a really good way of, like you're great about realistic self-evaluation, and like, and you don't take yourself too seriously. That's why I'm able to have this like silly little conversation on the sidebar with them, like of like how ridiculous it was. I was like, why did it take you so long to get to that point? It could have just been a little more direct. If you don't know me well, I really like being direct. I like direct communication. It just skips all the confusion or the delayed understanding. So hang on. It's interesting because I feel like this somehow involves your husband. So maybe he's not listening to you about who this person is that you're worried about. Does any of that make sense for you, Catherine? Kajajuju, whatever that is, your name is. What do you mean you're looking for somebody to do spell work? I don't do spell work. Not that I can't read all of that stuff, but I also don't buy into too much of the like. So I really believe your beliefs create your reality. So if you believe you can be cursed and hexed, then in fact you can be cursed and hexed. And so it sort of stands to say that you should maybe like, I don't know, shift your beliefs. But I don't do all that curse, like work on hexes and curses and stuff like that. I don't like, you can, I don't know. I just don't. I'll leave it at that. And honestly, I don't know anybody who does it because I believe that I get to decide the energy that comes in to me and makes its way to me, and that other people do not have more power over me than me. And so I choose to have my spiritual practice be a little bit more empowered than that. And I believe my guides take care of me and protect me and keep me safe. And that has been shown to me time and time and time again. Whenever anybody has been kind of crappy to me, I don't ever feel like petty or vengeful or anything else, because I know the universe just balances that out and takes care of it. And in fact, that always happens. I think I'm missing I've got live chat, but I'm somehow missing, because I've got an and people were arseholes. I don't have the beginning part. So I'm missing something for you, dear. Does anybody else see what Catherine's posting and I'm just missing it? Oh, wait. No, there you are. I don't know about my husband, but I have had issues interpersonally because I've just been authentic and not, I'm just honest, being mean, but saying I feel uncomfortable or my feelings are hurt. That's fair enough. The feeling I get is like that maybe you're trying to say it like Not that your husband is the problem, but that you're trying to communicate it to your husband about somebody else, like a third party, not like a third party he's having an affair, but just another person outside of the two of you. And maybe he's not seeing it. And do you feel that when you're being honest or direct that you're not being received well, and that sort of bothers you more than just the fact that you're being honest or direct? And listen, you're my kind of people, because I hate when people say shit that beats around the bush, where I'm like, do I have to like figure this one out? Just tell me what you think. Just, it's cool. I'll handle it. But like, if I'm supposed to read through the muddle and then oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, okay. Oh, that Shar. Okay. I will look for it. Okay, Joel, I got your payment. Regine, I got your payment. Shar, I got your payments. You're sad because I had friends in these people and I don't. Yeah. So that's kind of this time period for a lot of people, is the weeding out of who's authentically there for you and who's not. But this is where I'm like, do you want me to? I still feel like there's like two people that are like, it's interesting. I'm getting like a mix of things. So I'm getting 2 as time, like months, and 2 as people. So it's like I still have 2 people that are like, have my back, they're my ride or die, and 2 months where there's shifts and changes, and new people are coming in, new connections are coming in. It took me a long time to learn this, and something I teach my daughters, especially like my daughter, one daughter who's in middle school right now. And it's sort of this idea of like, it's okay to share your feelings with people. And if they can't handle your feelings, it tells you a lot about them. Because if you're like, hey, this hurt my feelings, and they can't handle that, are they really your friend? Probably not. Like a connection, a relationship needs to stand a little bit of strain. And if it can't, then it's not really an authentic relationship. I mean, we learn through relationship. We learn through duality, and then you also learn, like, if they're kind of like, if you are constantly saying like, hey, you're hurting my feelings, or hey, you're doing this over and over, and they continue to do it, that also gives you information. You have 2 very new people that I like. I'm juxtaposing them to the way these others were. That's why I say weeding. Yeah, perfect. So these 2 new people are, I mean, we go through changes in life. I think they say like every 7 years, you sort of kind of do these big, massive clean outs. And some people are meant forever and some people aren't. And it's okay to grieve all of that and feel sad about it, but also, I don't know. It's like the ebb and flow of the ocean. It just happens. I mean, there's people where I'm like, oh, I gave a lot more to that relationship than they gave to me. Interesting. And what is that like? Well, what is that? Like, not like, what does it say about me, but like, what does it say about me? Where does that pattern come from? Why do I choose that pattern? I don't know. I think I'm really enjoying this part of my life. And I think this is kind of, I think, going to float to you in a way. So that's why I'm rambling about it and why they're making me think about it. Is like, if my beliefs create my reality and people are showing up a certain way, what are my beliefs? What do I hold up? How people have to show up? So it's forced me to look at a lot of trauma and a lot of patterns that were developed as a very young child, and how that shows up in romantic relationships, how it shows up in friendships, and how it shows up in work and how I show up in the world, right? And it's interesting, and looking at it as just information rather than shaming myself or blaming or anything else. It's just information. And sometimes you look at it and you go, oh, that weed out should have happened a lot sooner. Like, ooh, why didn't I see that sooner? But you see it when you need to see it. And that's it. Like, timing is not, it just is. And I often think you get to see it when you're really emotionally able to see it. Like, maybe you weren't able to see it before because you weren't available, right, fully to be able to process through it. But trust your intuition more. I think it's like, because I feel like when they're saying the canary in the coal mine, I feel like you were seeing all of that stuff and maybe you didn't trust yourself enough. Does that satisfy your general reading? What's your next question? I think in this list I forgot Regine here, and she should be in here. And then somebody else, let me see. Oh, Charlotte for 2. I'm looking into how I am as well because I'm seeing these responses and patterns as an observer. So the other thing I want to say is like, just try not to shame yourself through it, right? So it doesn't mean when they say like the world is a mirror. So it's like the people I think missed extra parts of that, where they'd be like, oh, that means if someone's irritating you because they're acting like an asshole, that means you're an asshole. That's not it. It's not what that means. It means that it's a mirror to your belief system. So maybe I believe that I'm not deserving and worthy of respect. Maybe I believe that that my feelings don't really matter. And so when I say that to somebody, then they respond in a way of showing me that my feelings don't matter and what I'm going through doesn't matter. I'm looking into how I am as well because, okay, sorry. Second, will I be able to kick this ramped up addiction in the next couple of months? 6. I keep going 6, 7, but I saw a 7 after that. So it feels like a slower taper would be better for you, or slower wean. I don't even know if it's something that you would wean off of. I'm not getting a sense of what the addiction is, to be very honest with you. But it feels like a slower taper would be better. It's like there's this need and desire to go cold turkey, and they're like, no, that's not going to work for you. Because there's it's like a physical dependency on it is the feeling I get. Does it feel like you're, I will reach out to you. It's good to connect. Oh, well, thank you for joining us for a little bit, Claudina. I hope you're be nice to hear from you. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Or weekend, day, whatever. I think you're out in California, so it's actually your day. There was a weird feeling I got in my head, like a prickly, itchy feeling, but also like something was like in between my scalp and my skull. Like, so I don't know if you get weird sensations like that in your head. Does that make sense? Like when you're trying to get off of this? So I don't know what that means or why I felt that. So just kind of tuck that in your back pocket then. Cause sometimes I'm like, I don't know what this means. It's just like, I don't know if it's a feeling you get or if it's a sensation, but it's like maybe if you go too fast of getting off of it, it's like, you get weird physical sensations. There's also a feeling like don't carry shame around having the addiction, and don't carry shame around like, because it's like maybe there's this idea that like I want to get off of this. Again, it's like outside perception. Lots of people have addictions. One, it can be a dopamine issue, can be a neurodivergent issue, like a lot of people with ADHD and autism have addiction issues. It decreases sensory perception. Like sometimes they do it for that reason. Social issues, dealing with how you feel inside about yourself mentally. And so like adding shame on top of that just doesn't help you. And the most important thing is for you to feel good and to know that you're perfect and whole just as you are, and lovable and wonderful, and that all of that's a byproduct of not getting that message when you were little. I know addiction runs heavily in my family, and like heavily. And I don't think I have it. So I've talked to my mom, used to have an alcohol issue. She's been sober for a long time, but she would say like, I really liked it the first time I had alcohol. Like I liked it. And I've friends that have had addiction issues and said like, I was always sort of chasing that buzz that, I could not get back to that first one. And I don't have that. I was always so afraid of becoming an addict. So I had a lot of rules, but I realized like after talking to people and getting that perspective, I was like, yeah, I don't have that. I'm more of the person that's like, oh, this was nice and I'm done now. I just want to have so like, that's why meditation and all the psychic stuff is great. Cause it's like, I can have that experience, but not have the like other effects that I don't like. And that's the feeling of like, don't carry shame around all of that. It's just not necessary. Like have more grace for yourself, be gentler with yourself. I think in that forgiveness of it, and then that allowance of just not being perfect, it will help you on that journey. You thought you were okay like that before, but it just has gotten worse in the realm of not good and out of control, not shameful, just an observation. I think that's a great observation. So, I think you're in a better place. My sense is you're in a better place to be done with it. And that was a really vulnerable question. So I want to recognize that too. But I get like 6-7 months. It feels like just a little bit slower process than you're hoping for. I feel like 2 months out, there's a small stumble. Just move through that. It's okay. It's just part of the process. It's just like with anything else. When you get really good at something, right? Not that you're really good at addiction, but when you're starting on that journey of like healing something or changing your thought process and your mindset around things. You're going to have days where you're not great. This morning, I was like kind of negative on myself about something. I was like, oh, that's stupid. Of course, I'm going to create more of that. Shift that, change it. Not on about myself really. It was, oh, whatever. But you know, so it's like sort of like, it's not impossible to get sober. It's not impossible to get to a place, right? I guess they say like once you're an alcoholic, once you're an addict, you're always an addict. But it's not impossible to get to a place where it's okay because people do it all the time. The fact that you can see that it's an issue is like a gigantic step. It's such a weird human thing to like know you need to go slow, but want to be done. Like you want to be at the finish line, but you know that it's like, and so it's frustrating going through that process. But I genuinely feel like once you're through that, once you're done, you're done. Like you're not turning back. There's something, a switch that gets flipped in this process where you're like, that's it. No more. I'm done. And maybe it is through doing some of the mindset work I talk about. Like there is something very powerful in, and it's not to be like, you know, Pollyannish, like just think really good thoughts, but where you realize how powerful you are. And if you even just look backwards at the spiral you've let your mindset get into, that's put you in that place of like, and I genuinely can't say like, oh, I know it's because you're like, this is from a knowing place, not from a psychic intuitive place. You know, like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit. I need to drink today. I don't want to feel that. Like, I don't know what that is. You started yoga teacher training yesterday. So I think that will definitely help. And the other thing is if you know you have an addictive personality, find an addiction that can be beneficial versus one that's destructive. And also, they're like, and also the yoga teaching will help in a way of like being able to connect with people on a very real level. Like I've gone through this. Um, I was gonna say, sorry, went into a zone. um, there's something more to where this experience of having an addiction will help you help others. It's not just like I don't think you're going to necessarily become an addiction counselor, but it's just something of connecting and relating to people. And I mean, you know, you can see people who have addiction, like have addictive personalities who are using it for something that's healthy, but like, you know, like people can be addicted to spirituality where it's like overboard, right? You're welcome, Catherine. Thank you again for trusting me to answer that or connect with that energy. And thank you, Jennifer, for that kind comment. Um, Michelle, you wanted a general reading? Please like the live, whatever. Give a thumbs up if you're here. Michelle, what's your question? You want general? What does she need? I first like I just get such a sensation of being hugged right now. So I don't know if it's just maybe you just need a big hug. Is there a is your dad in spirit? I don't it's like because it's a male energy. And it just feels like so much love. Um and this idea of like being proud of you, but also just wanting you to know that you're being held at this moment. And it feels like an older male. Are you here, Michelle? You're talking about tension headaches. Um, I feel like those are almost coming from uh, TMJ. My jaw feels sore. Michelle, are you here? Okay, you're gonna have to watch this back then. We're just gonna wing it. We're gonna go with it. um, are you hearing me at all? Does any of this resonate? Um, I keep seeing a lot of boxes. It sort of feels like moving changes, moving changes. I know there's stuff with your house, but it's like they're talking about it. So I don't know if you're like in the midst of moving or in the midst of packing or what's happening there. Um, it feels like everything is gonna like it's like, yeah, this is happening, these changes are happening, but it's like you're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. I also feel like as much as you're not in that energy of wanting to date, or is there someone else out there? I feel like you stumble into something in the next 6 months, in 6 months. Um, I don't know that you'll actually ever be married again, but I feel like you will have like a long-term committed relationship. And what's interesting is I don't feel like you'll ever live together. I feel like you'll live near each other, but um maybe even neighbors, but it's this idea of like not maybe you live in like maybe you each own a condo in the same complex or building, but it's like this idea of like we are together but separate and it works for both of you. Meaning it's not like he's just acquiescing because it's where it's like literally like, no, this works for both of us. It's like this ideal connection. And he's in the helping services too, meaning like teacher, counselor, something like that. Um, I feel like he has a past of um, being a people pleaser, overgiving. Um, like you have very similar mirrored paths. It doesn't mean I don't believe in, you know, twin flame because I think that's like weird, but I feel like you have very similar relationship histories. You're moving right now. Okay. Your dad and brother. So it feels like your dad is giving you a hug. So it feels like that's all coming in. It's like this move is big. It's like symbolically big of the changes. Like it's like this is the changing point. You'll look back and you're like, it started there energetically. It all started there and shifting. I also feel like it's symbolically of you trusting yourself and really believing in your own power and moving forward and stepping into your own power. And I also feel like me telling you this is not like, where is he? Where is he? It's like, okay, whatever. Like you're totally okay with it. And that's like that okay, whatever energy is what sort of is part of who you become, right? Or who you're becoming, of like just allowing and knowing that you have other stuff going on and it's not a priority, and that sort of helps. I mean, it's kind of like the idea where I was talking about earlier, where I said like, I'm open to somebody coming in. I'm very much going to see all the red flags now. I'm not going to ignore them. I mean, I saw them before. I just didn't, I ignored them. Like, and like already feeling like I kind of already maybe know who this person is, but I'm not. There's no rush or pressure about it. It's just like, okay, it'll all happen when it happens. If it is, great. If it's not, okay, that's fine. Because I know, but I'm pretty sure it is. And I'm okay with like, there's no like, like, there's no like need for time around it. It's just like, I got shit to do. I got other stuff to focus on. And that's how I feel like you'll be. Yeah. But it's like knowing that you have a full life and a full experience, and that that's not paramount. It's just an addition, and it'll happen at the perfect time. Hmm. But know that your dad is very much, not that your brother's not with you, blah, 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 but your dad like really stepped in. Was he really tall? Because I saw, what's interesting is, and I don't feel like, so it's funny. Okay. So I saw one of my math teachers from high school, my stats and trig teacher. And, it's so funny. I took that senior year instead of calculus because I was like, I don't want to do calculus. I don't need it. um, I cannot remember his name, but I can see him so clearly. He was just this tall, kind of nerdy guy, um, like very nice and very helpful, but like kind of awkward. Um, but when I think about him now, I think like, uh, um, I thought he was kind of weird as a teenager, but now like as an adult, I think about his energy and I'm like, he's actually a really nice guy. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, so it's like very smart, um, not gregarious with like, but I feel like he would have been very warm and kind with you. And I mean, it's your dad, right? But it's like just like a warm, intentional hug, but very smart, wanting to teach you and be helpful. And um, so know that he's around and he's walking you through all of this. Interesting that they wouldn't show me my own dad. My dad's not any of those things. That's okay. So I know that he's around, okay? Let's see, who do we have next? Let me look at my list. Um, Katrina, what's your question? So I have Katrina, Joelle, Regine, and Shar. Oh, I'm so sorry. Even if it's really like, know that like healing still happens and occurs, and on the other side, there is loving energy there. Sometimes people just aren't really good at showing love. They don't even know how to love themselves. So expressing it is scary and hard. You're welcome, Michelle. Okay. a general. Can I tell you, anytime I see somebody write, "Thank you so much," I always think, "Tism." And I'm like, okay, like autism. My focus is different. That's what I was doing this. Not like my bunny ears. My bunny has floppy ears, and we joke that she has like little satellite ears because they'll kind of go up and down like little satellites. Okay, satellite arms. Yeah, whatever. Okay. What does Katrina need to know today? So the first thing they're talking about is it would be beneficial for you to do like an intentional clearing or something when you're going from work to family to friends to like when you're making transitions. It feels like there's a lot bleeding through energetically, like from work to other spaces or from stressful parts to like into other spaces. It genuinely they're showing me like work to home versus and this is not to shame you or make you feel bad or like or maybe even family to family, like outside family into your what do they call it, your core unit, whatever. um so like ways that people do that, right? Because I kept wanting to like I wanted to transition like where I want to do like a spray clearing between each reading today, and I never have that feeling when I'm doing these, but it feels like I need to say that to you. So there's somehow that message in for you. You agree I work from home, so transitions are hard. Okay, perfect. So it feels like maybe even making a spray like a frankincense spray, right? That you like just you can just use water and a little bit of essential oil drops in a little tiny bottle of like and like clearing yourself before you when you're like done with work, whatever. It's like you need that transition of like an actual physical act of doing something, or like Jewish people have a mezuzah they have on outside their door of their house, and they touch that before they come in as like a way of like blessing themselves and removing the negative energy, from what I understand. So if I'm wrong, you correct me, anybody in here, if you're Jewish. um or this idea of like creating an intention of every time I pass it. We've talked about this in some of the other like the workshops where it's like creating an intention when you every time I pass through that door, it means that I'm clear of all the negative energy. It's like needing to like make that intentional act is important for you, because you're not doing that. It feels like, and it feels like everything bleeds into itself. We were taught like in nursing, it's like when you walk through those doors, and I was like, now I'm like, oh, that's an intention for sure. But that's like when you walk through the doors, your outside life is like you are not, that's not a part of who you are. You have to be focused and be here and be with your patients. Um, I mean, I compartmentalized really well when I was a nurse. I guess I'm good at that anyway. Just in general, I kind of grew up having to do that. But like, so like, I guess the day my grandmother's um, her funeral, I was unable to go, and my sister's like calling me. I was like, I cannot talk to you while I'm at work. Don't call me again. I will call you when I'm done with work, but I have to be here. And it's like this idea of intentionally being like, this is this and this is that. So it's like create a little spray bottle or whatever. It doesn't have to be anything like I have to go out for a walk. It's just that physical act. It's that same idea of like creating a Pavlov's dog experience that I do, where I decided like every time I sit in this chair, that means I'm ready to work. And I used to have to sit here for like years ago, 10 minutes and do like a whole thing. And now I'm like, no, my brain is already in the like, I'm ready to work. I'm relaxed. Right. Same reason I don't go get massages and stuff, because if I relax, I open up to everybody's crap, and honestly, like then that's not relaxing. It's might as well be doing work. My work is a little different, and then I have to relax in order to work. And in real life, I'm always sort of like on edge. So if I can relax around you and I'm in the real world, forget it. I'm getting information. I can't help it. So that's kind of what they're wanting to talk about. Is like it's not about protection, right? It's just creating transitions and barriers between things that don't need to bleed into each other. Yeah, and most people are the opposite as I am. Like, so when I work, I need to be relaxed, and when I am in the world, I have to be just a little bit like on guard, or just a little bit like more walls up. So that way I can um, function without feeling everybody's shit. Like seem like a normal human being instead of be like, so do you have? And it's actually very rare for anybody to I can only think of in the past many, many decades of one person that I was around where I was in a public setting where I was able to relax, and I was like, oops. Anyhow, let's keep moving. So yeah, that's really what they want to talk about. It's just you. I know it's a really brief message, but it's like that's really where they want to go with that for you. So let me know if you want to like me to help you figure out a thing. But like the quickest one that they were showing me is like creating a little spray bottle. I don't have one. You can get those like little spray bottles from Whole Foods or whatever. I'm sure you can find them online for like 85 for $10, whatever. You don't need 85. You just like keep it at your desk and be like, okay, I'm in my desk. I don't feel like it's from home to work. That's the issue. I feel like it's the work to home transition, the evening transition. Okay. Joelle, what's your question? I need to find my yearbook and figure out this math teacher has come up. I wonder if he died recently. He's come up to me twice in the last week. So I thought about actually in the last 2 days. So A, I need to figure out his name. I'll have to look at my yearbook. And B, I wonder if he's died. Maybe I'll do a little Google search later. It truly is weird being me sometimes. That's okay. Joelle, are you here? If not, Regine, do you want to drop your question? And Shar, you can too. And then we'll do some card readings. Energy for you. I feel like I'm cheating in a way because I know you have this little girl with you now, but it's like I literally feel like bouncing off the walls, and they literally said let the chaos ensue. I feel like you've really set the energy well to knowing that she's going to transition well. She's going to have a good time. Like I really genuinely believe you're putting all of that into place, and so it's literally just like I do feel like you're going to be very more exhausted than you realize because I see you really tired, but like with crafting supplies all around you, it's like you've done all the stuff, and um, know that they're sort of saying like maybe you've got all the fun stuff planned and you're doing all of those things, and they're like she's going to love you even if you don't have all of that stuff planned. It's the safety and security and the consistency that's really going to make her feel safe and loved. So it's being consistent, showing up consistently. She really needs a schedule. There's some kids that can be a little bit loosey goosey. I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up being ADHD or something like that. Um, just really needing consistency. So it's like, if you're going to do bath time, do the bath time at the same time every day, create a routine, create routines for her to feel safe and secure. I feel like she wasn't getting that with dad. So, it's just like really doing that. But otherwise, I just, it feels like such a wonderful bright spot for you. Something coming up in March. So I don't know if it's a birthday or for her, or a visit with mom, but maybe mom will be back in March, something like that. Your birthday's in March. So maybe there's something around that, like something celebratory that says your birthday, but I feel like maybe mom will come back too then. Her birth mom, her biological mom will come back in March and celebrate with that. Um, I actually won't be surprised if you sponsor birth mom coming over somehow at a point. And all three of you living together and sort of co-parenting together. Not that you're in a relationship together, but like um, the Golden Girls, but mom version, or like Kate and Allie. I don't remember if you remember that show, Kate and Allie. It'll be in a few years. It's not right now. Shady, you asked if I ever thought about doing a missing persons or true crime channel. I haven't, and I'm going to tell you why I haven't. There was somebody who would come on here years ago and ask me because they were into true crime and missing person stuff. And one way I used to practice too was like, if there was like, I remember specifically that were sort of like, there was a little girl who was missing and I saw her laying in like reeds and shallow water, like very shallow, like marshy type, maybe 5 inches of water. But I saw who attacked her. I saw what he looked like. I saw how he did it. And it was all like, she was found around a lake, but in like marshy, reedy area. And the man that did it looked exactly like the man I was shown. She was choked to death. I could feel it as if I was her. There was another instance where someone came on here and asked about this person who was doing serial killings. And I was like, oh, he's going to indigenous reservations. And he's moving on to another one because he knows nobody will look for them. There's just so many indigenous women that go missing that are not searched for. And I could hear him whispering into my ear as if I was one of the victims. And I know that it's helpful for someone, but I don't know how healthy it isn't helpful to me to be in that energy. And so you go into this of like serving the greater good and also protecting yourself. It's why I don't do a lot of political, like I don't sit in the energy and ask questions. If somebody asks me a question, I'll answer it. But I also, like, somebody asked, because I was giving on my TikTok, I did a video on some predictions that have already started happening, where I said years ago on here that like we would start going more progressive in 2026. I said that Biden would win over Trump. And then in 2024, I was like, I see a man and a woman, but it wasn't Biden. And I didn't understand what that was. And then 2028, I see 2 women in the office and I really feel like AOC is going to be one of them. And I was like, I don't even know how that's going to happen, especially maybe even a year and a half ago. I was like, no fucking way. No way that would happen. But I said in 2026, we would start to move progressive. And I was like, I don't even see that happening even a year and a half ago. And well, here we are. More progressive candidates are getting right. And now they're demonizing the progressive Democrats, whatever, socialist Democrats, whatever. Hi, Andrea. How are you? And I don't love sitting in that energy, but somebody asked about Elon Musk. I'm like, fuck, like I hate his energy. It's so gross. But it's like when I sit in somebody's energy, I'm feeling like I am them, and they're yucky feeling. So it's like, I don't know. I sit there, I'm like, I know that I could be lucrative or it would get me lots of hits and lots of eyeballs, but how much do I really want that? Like, how much do I want to have to pay for that, in essence? I don't know. I suppose if somebody, like, there has to be an energetic exchange. And then also, like, I don't know how much I love the gawkery energy that goes into it. And like I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know if I'm a good person or if I just like myself enough to like, what's my goal? And like, I don't know. I think really for my whole life, all I just want is peace and security and to feel like safe. And sometimes that energy doesn't feel that way. And then I don't know. I'll make my way there to figure out what I need to do. I think I really just want other people to feel empowered too. I think if somebody approached me about looking, so there's also the weight of really not wanting to be wrong about something like that. Because, and I think the stepping into doing readings was really hard too, because I was like, I really don't want to be wrong. I take this very seriously and I don't want to harm people. And I think, I don't know. So maybe if somebody approached me about it, I would try and help, but I don't know. I think you really have to think about what your intention is. What's your reason for doing something? And I'm not sure what my reason would be for doing something like that. Like, is it for the right reason? There was also one time, and this is like where I say getting wrong. Like there was one time it was like a murder happened and I saw two people in the car, but I saw like a fender of like what would look like a dually, like the dual axle trucks where the fender kind of comes out. Well, it ended up being, it was a black car, a black truck, but it was a black, some kind of other, but like a different type of vehicle, but the fender came out. It wasn't a truck, but the fender came out. So it was like that detail that I like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm a good person overall, but that's not like I don't know. I just don't want to do things for sensational. Like there's that part of me that just is like, I want to help people, but I don't want to like make a spectacle of it, if that makes sense. So I would help on the quiet end. So if anybody's watching this and you want help with something like that, I would help on the quiet end, but I don't want to make a spectacle of it, if that makes sense. Okay. Sorry, it took me way too long to get to that. That happens with my brain sometimes. It is who I am. Okay. Do you feel satisfied with your reading regime? Joelle wanted to know about work for the coming months. I mean, I feel like when I just read that, I feel really stagnated in my job. I feel just kind of like I'm just going through the motions and I don't like it. So I know you have a career and then you have your family restaurant. At least I think that's how it is. You're always satisfied. Thank you, Regine. Oh, sorry. So Joelle, I feel like you have a summer job now and the restaurant. Okay, so it's like I don't feel like I love the summer job. It just feels like it's a job. You're going to keep doing the restaurant, and I feel like with work as it comes in, it feels more lots of temporary jobs. Not anything um consistent or not anything long term. And I actually feel like that works for you right now. Uh But I actually wouldn't be surprised if you go into business for yourself. And I keep seeing something around either like event planning or marketing or um because I feel like I'm in like maybe you're a party planner. There's something around planning for others or um you have a lot of like skills that are marketable. And I just feel like whatever you do, you end up working more for yourself. So maybe you get on Fiverr or something like that, or not TaskRabbit, but something like that where you're putting your skills out there. I want to go more into just don't know how to yet. So it's like maybe you're something you go into something like where you go on Fiverr and you're like, hey, I have these skills because people look for people with skills that are like, but there's something like that um, where you're not working for somebody else, you're working for yourself and you're still doing the restaurant stuff. And it's interesting because I almost feel like they may even come together at a point. You want to go more into event planning? Hi, Carly. You're not too late. That's fine. You can. I probably did get lost in the chat. I'll have to look for it. Oh, there you are. Yep. So, Joel, did you say you want to do event planning? Was that something? But I feel like you will go into that. It just that feels like maybe I take the leap in like 6 months, or it's like, and not even a leap like I quit everything else. It's like I'm going to dip my toe in here and see what happens. Planning and coordinating events, yeah. So it feels like I'm going to dip my and you will be doing that full time at a point, and then I still think the restaurant's there, but meaning you won't have all these extra little side jobs. Excuse me. So you'll be doing that. The energy is out there. Remember, I'm just reading the energy from where it's at and where it's going. I'm not. I don't feel like I'm doing anything revolutionary. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe I should give myself more credit. I don't know if the side jobs would be that. It means like so I have this summer thing and I'm going to pick up one event and start helping plan it and just kind of getting my toe dipped in it and figure out how to do it. Or I'm going to have this side job and I'm also going to start putting myself out there on Fiverr and see what happens. And when that starts picking up, then and I have more of a like reference list of people who could be like, yeah, I can vouch for her. She's good at what she does. Then, or I have more of a, what do you call it? Resume. Then I can step away from these because I've got more of a consistency coming in, that kind of thing. Did I do I have to go back to nursing or did I have to? No. Um, was Benji hard of hearing? Because I feel like my left ear, I'm like, I feel like it's got a bubble in it. And I feel like my right ear is not working as well, but I have some hearing out of my right ear. or more hearing out of my right ear. I keep howling, so I don't know if he was just a noisy dog, like, huskies and beagles are kind of noisy dogs. Um, um, I don't know if it's like jaw issues or teeth issues, but I feel like it's something on my back bottom left. And my stomach feels kind of sour, and I feel kind of sore on my right front shoulder. Maybe he's had some arthritis there. His hips are sore. He's an old dog. um, I also feel like I can't breathe out of my right side of my nose. He's a good dog, though. Oh, I feel like just lots of health stuff at the end. Um, um, but so sweet, like just genuinely a good boy. I feel like he's doing okay. So know that he's okay. He's like, I can wiggle and move, and um I made that face because it's like he's like, I just sit on the end of the bed, I chew on my bone, and I'm happy. Like energetically, he's still there doing all of that. Um, he's totally okay. So what I noticed with my dog, when I had to have her put to sleep, she had end stage kidney issues. She was not that old for a Yorkie. She was 10. Um, but like the vet, so I held her when they gave the 2 injections, and almost immediately I was like, okay, here you go. And I wasn't sobbing. I was like, this, she's yours now. And they were like, looked at me weird. And I was like, she's not here anymore. This isn't her anymore. And when I was walking home from the vet, because I lived in Hoboken at the time, she was running circles around my feet. I mean, she will still show up sometimes even here. It's not that, it's just, but she still shows up for me. They're still around. Um, I know I sound really bad that I was crying like on the way home, but I was like, it was just so like different where it was like, I was very depressed about her being gone and very, very much missed her. So don't say it. But it was like, just in that moment, I wasn't like, it was like, oh, this isn't her. Like it was such a very clear transition. Um, but I still feel like very much showing up, snuggling, hanging out in bed at the foot of your bed, chewing on a bone. Um, just really like energetically still there doing all the things he loved without pain, without discomfort, being able to breathe easy, not having the low hip pain, back pain near that lower, the lower tailbone area. It's hard to say lower because dogs are not up and down, right? I even feel like knee pain in my back, my left leg, the back left leg. He had a lot of like, stuff, and he's doing totally okay. And he's saying you're not ready for a new dog yet. So if you've been looking or whatever, it's like not ready just yet. There's going to be another one. And he said of me, but I don't feel like it's him. So maybe a similar type dog. He won't be jealous. It's a feeling of you're not ready yet. It was funny. I got the feeling of like felt like you were replacing him. It's not a replacement. Um, he said you're meant to always have like a little companion. It's just as important for you as it is for those animals to come in. And you've contracted with several in this lifetime to be their guardian, because we don't really own an animal, right? We're their guardians. And so you've contracted to be with several. I even feel like the next one might end up being like a therapy dog, where you train to bring in to help people with touch therapy or, comfort, things like that. It's interesting because I grew up having animals, and the loss of my dog that I had, where I had to put her to sleep, was so much harder than I ever imagined. Because I had lost animals obviously throughout my life, and it was sad and I missed them, but it was not devastating. And I was devastated when I had her put down. So I'm working on building my business and leaning into that. And I don't want to talk too much personally about all of that, but no, so far I've not had to go back to nursing, and my goal is to not go back to nursing. Hi, Pete Early. How are you? Yeah. What's your other question, Char? And I'm sorry about your loss. And then just Carly, and then we can move on to card readings after Carly. No apologies. I just don't I also think of it as like manifesting and like where I'm putting my energy and my intentions, and so I don't like to talk about things that I'm not doing. And I'm fortunate that we're financially in a place where I haven't had to go back to work right immediately. Um, so yeah, but I want to build a business, and this is where my focus is. So it's like sort of like I have to really kind of push in instead of doing it where I've just been doing it wherever it's convenient, and now I have to do that. I just think that I also feel like nursing was a stepping stone for me. I mean, obviously I'm not like an idiot, but I believe enough in myself to know that I could do something with this. And so, oh, Jennifer. Okay. I'll check. I actually haven't checked. I was like, so I'll actually check here and see what I have. Yes, Jennifer, I got yours. Okay. And Carly, I have yours. So we'll do, but Char, what's your next question? Or do you want to wait a minute and you let me know? Carly, if you want to put in your question, and Jen, you can too. And then I'll just go from one to the next. Mm-hmm. Oh, I did. There you go. Been feeling really conflicted with my friend JT. Does JT go by JT, or those are just initials? And if not, if it's just the initials, will you just give me the first name? It just opens things up energetically. I know it sounds weird, but being something valuable in the next few months. What does Spirit have to say about that? Perfect. Okay. I'm just rereading your question, so I put it into my brain. When you say valuable, so I'm going to tell you this. Okay. So when you ask a question to AI, you sort of have to ask it very intentionally, right? You can't like beat around the bush and hope you'll get the answer you want. And that's how it is asking the universe for things. So when you say valuable, do you mean romantic? Because valuable is very subjective. And I want you to have the answer to the question you want to ask, not like hoping you'll get, right? Because when you ask that question, they could go, well, it's valuable in that you'll join together and build a house and flip it and blah, blah, blah. And that is one sense of value, but that might not be what the value you're looking for. Romantic. There you go. Ah. Stop settling. Meaning, like, when you settle energetically in the universe, you're like, well, but I'll take a friendship. No, fuck it. If you want a romantic relationship, put that shit out there. Put it out there. All right. So the question you're asking is, and then we're going to talk about mindset and manifesting and how to draw that in, because I think that's incredibly valuable. And because what I do is the receptive communication from the universe. When you connect in with your intuition, it's your receptive communication. Manifesting is like, I have to clearly ask the universe what I'm expressing myself. And when you're sort of wishy-washy about it, the universe is like, well, I don't know. Do you want the food? Do you not want the food? Do you want it? Do you not want it? Like, am I bringing the dish to the table or am I not bringing it? Did you change your mind about it? Like, when you go to a restaurant, you don't go like, well, if it's meant for me, you're like, or like, well, everybody else can have it, but not me. Why? Why can like, you need to think about it. Like, when I'm making the order, put it into really practical terms. They need to know what you want. If it's on the menu, it's on the menu. If it's not, you go to a different restaurant, but you can go find what you want somewhere. So trust the universe can provide. It's the buffet of the world, if you will. It's all available. Okay. So I feel like it will turn romantic, but it does take like 3 months. And the reason why I feel like that is I don't feel like I feel like he's either dating around or there's somebody, like there's a third party involved. Um, I don't think he's fully single. Does that resonate when I say that? And I also feel like, again, this is about you stepping into your worth. So you deciding because your thoughts are still around of like, does he like me? Is he good enough? Or am I good enough? Does he think I'm attractive? Like, I feel like there's some stuff around you not feeling like you're attractive enough. Um, you've spent a long time, the feeling I get is around being a wallflower. And it's sort of like just deciding there are not, I like, and maybe this is my own weird thing, but I don't think in terms of people being ugly or not ugly or attractive or not attractive. I think there's very, very rarely that I look at someone, I'm like it's very rare. I think everybody is attractive. Not like I want to be with everybody, but I don't look at people and think, oh, you're ugly. Like, so it would be fair to say then too that like everybody's beautiful. And so why are you not allowed to walk around and be like, I'm beautiful? What standard are you holding yourself to for beauty? The weird one that's sort of pedophilic where you're supposed to be like not really have a body but have tits and but not really have too much and no hair. You cannot have any hair because that's, and like, women have curves. That's the way we're physically built to be. And some women don't have them because that's the way they're genetically made up. And but like naturally occurring without starving yourself or medically manipulating yourself. I don't know. And why are you, if you don't hold to that standard, why are you all of a sudden not attractive? Who said that standard? Who set that standard? And why are you not allowed to own that you're beautiful? And of course he would want you. Like, why does that make you arrogant? But it's okay for you to be like, I don't know. Like, nope, fuck it. Step in your power. Of course he would want to be with you. Of course he values you. Of course he sees how incredible you are. And not settling for less than that. But I still feel like there's somebody dating around, or it makes a little bit of sense. I think he said he's getting over something from his past. Yeah. So it feels like, like 3 months. And then he's like really energetically open and receptive. And the other thing is like, I feel like you're worried he'll think he's ruining something, or there's something about ruining something once you move into it. So sort of the thought process has to be like, it only gets better from here. He knows it only gets better from here, that we wouldn't be ruining something. We're definitely compatible on all levels. We're perfect for each other in every way, that kind of thing. And then the other idea too is like worrying about, like, they were like, you need to send something energetically out where it's like, he feels safe with me. He knows he can trust me, because I think he has trust issues, because I am trustworthy. Like, so turn it into an I am as well. So keep saying it. And when your thoughts come up or it doesn't show up the right way, just be like, no, the truth is, and just like keep persisting with those thoughts, because think about all the negative thoughts you've had all of your life. You persist with them, you tell a story about them, you create a whole scenery, and like from beginning to end of like how terrible and how it won't work out or whatever. It's like, why can't you do that with a positive? Why does that all of a sudden make you crazy or delusional? It's not. They're both imagination. Create the one that works in your favor always. He did say trust issues were a problem. Right. So he doesn't have trust issues with me. He knows, because I am a trustworthy person. He feels safe with me because I am honest. I take accountability. I always show up in ways that make him feel safe and secure. He always shows up, and in return, he always shows up like, right? You want to always say that too. Like, he should always have to show up as a fucking rock star for you too. Hold them to a great standard too. Right. And it doesn't have to be like positive. It's just like always thinking in your favor. Why not? Why would you ever think against yourself? You're drawn to ask for a general around the next few months, whatever spirit can share about any aspect of my life. Okay, Jen. Okay, so that's Jen. And then Carly, if you want to write your question, did you write it already and I missed it? Nope. Okay. All right. What does Jen need to know today? I'm like immediately drawn to feeling like needing to do energy releasing and movement. It is a feeling of having a habit of like my energy just feels really wrapped tight. And this idea of allowance, right? So intentionally allowing, like sort of sending out in the universe, like, okay, so like mantras I was saying while I was walking last night was like, show me how easy. Show me how easy it is for this to happen. Show me how easy it is to make this much money a week. Show me how easy it is to create this thing. Show me how easy it is to put work out that is helpful to others. Show me how easy it is to be consistent, that kind of stuff. But it feels like, show me how easy it is to receive. To receive easily, sort of. Show me how easy it is to receive easily. It's like to allow things to come in, because I know this is something I do, and I've seen it, other people do it too, where you're like, you're manifesting something, you're creating something in your life, and you're like, okay, so I want this, this, and this, and it comes in, you're like, yeah, but like, you don't see that is what you're manifesting. You're just like, if it's something around creating my business, I'd be like, okay, I want to do this, and then it's happening. I'm like, I'm not really receiving it. I don't know any other way to explain it. It's like, I don't really value it, or not that I don't value it, but it's like, I don't see that as my manifestation happening until I'm like, oh, duh, dumbass. I was telling my friend the other night, I think that's funny. So one thing was like building my self-esteem and seeing myself as being attractive. And I did not feel that way in my bitch. And then like Ben would look at me and I would be like, ooh, why is he looking at me? And I was like telling my friend and laughing. And she was like, I was like, but I manifested that. And she's like, yeah, like we were both laughing about it. I was like, oh, so it's like recognizing when you've manifested something and allow yourself to be like, oh, I did that. Like, okay, that's like part of it. I've been on the dating apps. Okay, so that was Carly. Like breath work. Yeah, like doing breath work. I do walk almost every day. Okay, cool. So when you're walking, do mantras. I'm so grateful for so much and do affirm it. So not even feel like you have to go into it as gratitude, like affirming your thoughts as like how you want to think, right? So you're not even, because like I'm so lucky, grateful, and blessed. That's so fucking general. So what I want you to do is go into the things of like, this is what I want my life to look at. Like, I want to make so much money. I want to have this many friends, or I want to go out. I want to travel. Like, be very specific about the things you want. Maybe it's like, you're on the date, or you're not on the dating app. So it's something else. It's like, it's easy for me to allow X, Y, and Z to come and be specific, because what happens is when you're really general, then you don't know what you're manifesting, what you're not. That whole idea of having to be grateful for shit, you really kind of don't. That comes naturally, but you don't have to like force that. Like, oh, I'm so grateful. Is that, did I do it right? Like, it's like your dominant thoughts manifest. So what the fuck are you thinking about all the time? Are you thinking about like, oh, this is like hard and I'm really trying? It's like, no, manifesting is easy for me. Don't say I'm trying. I'm not. Like, fuck it. Manifesting is easy for me. Show me how easily all my manifestations come in. That's awesome. Thanks. And the idea of like that you can't ask for signs. So if your beliefs create your reality, you make all the rules. So if you say, if I ask for a sign, that means I don't really want it, I don't believe I have it, that's bullshit, because I can tell you I've asked for signs. I asked for specifically, hey, if there's somebody else coming in romantically at some point, let me dream about it now. So I had a dream, and I remember waking up and being like, oh, that's weird. I didn't dream about like a guy. I had these all like whatever right now. And I don't want to tell about it because like some people sometimes watch this, and I'm trying not to give it away. But that dream has already happened and come true. So like I said, I already am pretty sure I know who this person is that's coming in. It's just not the right time right now. And I'm totally like, I'm not really ready for it. They're definitely not ready for it. Like, it's just, it is what it is, but I'm okay with it. Did I fuck up my manifestation, or did I fuck up that event happening because I asked for that? No. I used to ask for dreams about going into nursing and being a travel nurse. Let me dream about what it's like. Like, I specifically wanted to come to New York City. I still did traveling in New York City, even though I asked for a dream and even though those dreams happened. You're not going to fuck it up. So I cannot, that's another one you need to adopt. I cannot fuck up my manifestations. You can say not the F word if you're not a swearer. That's fine. You don't have to say that. So get specific. So another one I used to say was like, oh, my clients have a lot of money. They're very successful. But on the flip side, I don't want to know anything about my clients. I want to know as little as possible, because I want to know, I want to prove whatever. Have a client that is incredibly successful, sold a product for lots and lots and lots and lots of money. You would go in, you can go into Target, Whole Foods, like pretty much any store, and see their product on the shelf. Do you want to know that I didn't know that they did this? Like, because I don't want to know anything. So pick something that you can verify that is going to happen. Don't pick something like I did, because it took me forever. And I was like, oh, like, and they're not my only successful client, but it is like, I picked something that I was manifesting something that like, I have no way to quantify whether or not, or verify that thing happened. And you can say, I want to do something. It doesn't mean you're holding it out there, because again, your rules created. So if you decide that if I'm saying it in future tense, then it will never happen. It's not, because I used to believe that too. And the more and more I'm looking, I'm like, no, my beliefs create my reality. So I can decide whether or not I get to do it one way or another. And you're going to hear coaches and be like, no, you can't do that. But the rule is literally your beliefs create your reality. So that's their belief system they're sharing with you. It doesn't have to be imposed on you. So be specific. You can say like, so for your home, if you want to manifest a home that you're buying, just be like, oh my God, like, of course that home is mine. It's done. Like, you don't even have to say it's like, I live in such an amazing home. I love my home so much. I love that it has whatever, that it's easily like I can easily afford the mortgage and the taxes. I love that it's in an area that I love. I love that I have great neighbors. It's everything I've ever wished for. It can be that. It came on the market at the perfect time. Like, and when people say like, do you have it or not? It's the idea of like, it's not that you physically tangible have it. It's that you believe enough in your head that it's yours, that you're not doubting it. And even if you have a doubt, you can decide, even if I doubt, that actually makes my manifestation stronger and come in stronger, even if I have doubts. Like, you literally get to make up all the rules. It's pretty easy and seems strange that it's that easy. And the other thing is understanding that sometimes things take time and sometimes they don't. I don't know why. I don't know why. I wish I could tell you. It's because of X, Y, and Z, and nobody can really tell you. Because again, I don't think our little tiny fucking human brains can wrap our brains around the vastness of what life really is and what this experience really is. But I know that these rules work that I'm making up, and it always works. Same thing as yours. You're not manifesting wrong. You are manifesting your beliefs. So it's this idea of like, while you're on walks, go like I will say over and over things like, well, last night I try to change it up because I don't know. But like last night I was like, show me how easy it is. That was my first line of whatever then I wanted. Show me how easy it is. Cause then the brain has to start filtering for that ease. Show me how easy it is to show up consistently and do content. Show me how easy it is to come up with ideas for videos. Show me how easy it is to have, all of that stuff. Show me how easy it is to run this business, a successful, lucrative business, and for it to be consistent. I just came up with that one. Show me how easy it is to move through an amicable. I did it around my divorce. Show me how easy it is to be amicable. We've been very amicable. It's been very easy, but that's always been my intention. I've got stuff going around my girls, things I want for them, for their life to move with ease. And I think that's kind of what generational wealth really is. It's not really about, like, on an esoteric level. Generational wealth is like passing on those beliefs to them so that things move with ease for them. Yeah, show me the best that could happen. Or you can say it in gratitude. Like, I love that I always see the best. The best always shows up. But then sprinkle in there some really specific stuff so you can see that it works. So like, I'll do random stuff too. Like, I did something around my friend's dog because he has so much anxiety. And I was like, oh, let's like, so I was like, and I didn't tell them I was doing it. I just do it. I was just like, oh, he's like less anxious. He's like around other people. And I've now heard a couple stories where like he let my daughter, she's like, my daughter, and he let her pet him. She's like, his ears were still back, but he let me pet him. Oh, report back. I love that. Do it. Because I like hearing that things work for y'all. I like hearing that. I am rooting for every single one of you to have everything that you ever want. I am rooting for you to feel empowered and feel good and move through life with ease, because it feels like shit doing the opposite. Why wouldn't I be excited for somebody else to do really well? That just seems so weird to me, to not want other people to be successful and happy and fulfilled. I don't understand anything less than that. Again, I am not a petty person. I'm not vengeful. I'm not somebody who seeks revenge. I'm always like if I am done with somebody, I'm done with them. And I'm out of contact with my father and most of my family, but I don't wish them ill will. I don't have that in me. Don't want anything to do with them. I trust that everything works out in the way that it needs to work out for them. Like, that's not me. I don't understand that behavior. I don't understand trying to make somebody pay for not showing up in a way. And that's not because I'm like, well, because I did that. It's literally like, it's never been in me even before I knew understood this. I just don't have that. Doesn't make me better than you. It's just who I am. Okay. Carly, what's your question? Okay, here. I've been on the dating apps since April. I'm trying to put myself out there, but I feel very stuck and like nothing is happening. So then you'll always be stuck and nothing is happening. So maybe that's like yours came after Jen's because you really needed to hear the mindset stuff. So, because again, if your beliefs create a reality and you believe like that's your expressive communication to the universe. Mine is my receptive communication, right? Intuition. And you have intuition too. But it's like, if you always say like, I just feels really stuck and it's not moving. And I can tell you, I've done this to myself too, not in dating, I mean, I probably did it before in dating when I was dating, but, like in other areas, I'm like, oh, it feels stuck. Then it has to stay stuck. So if you decide like, the idea is when you start shifting something, remember that like, have you ever changed a water filter in a refrigerator? And I realize that this might not make sense to people in Europe because I don't think you have them in Europe, unless maybe you're super like, I don't know, because I know things are different there. But so water comes out of my fridge, ice cubes come out of my fridge. I have a filter that goes in it and I have to change the filter every like 6 months. When you put the filter in, it's like there's a big air gap in the line, the little tubing that goes from where the filter is all the way like through where the water catches up. And so you hear like, and you're just shooting out all this extra stuff. So like I changed the filter, I made a difference, but I have to run through like, I don't know, however many liters of water before it's ready for me to be drinking. So it's this idea of like when I change my thought processes, sometimes it takes a little bit of time for the new thoughts to show up in the 3D, right? To show up at the end of the water filter line, whatever. So it's this idea of like, okay, men always show up in favorable ways and show up respectfully and celebrating me and pursuing me and what's other ways you want them to show up? They're interested in my brain. They want more of a deep connection. I don't know, however you want them to show up, emotionally available, accountable, honest. Whatever traits you want. Like maybe you want them to be athletic. Maybe you want them to be like into self-care and care about their bodies. And I don't know, whatever it is you want, right? Maybe you want the couch potato. I don't know. But however you want them to show up, and then just decide these are the ones that are always attracted to me. These are the ones that are always, and I also find reciprocally attractive, like whatever. They always show up. I have a million people like, you don't necessarily want quantity because like maybe quantity is not quality. Like quality guys are always connecting with me online. I have lots of really great dates. It is socially acceptable for everybody to talk about how terrible dates are and how many first dates. Like you'll hear that constantly. You have to shift the energy around that so that, it's like when I was doing travel nursing, people were like, it's so hard to find a job in nursing. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I never had a belief system that it was hard to find a job in nursing because mine was always like, they need nurses. They want nurses. They want me. Of course they're going to hire me. Literally never had a doubt about that. It was never, dating was a totally different story, but nursing was not. Nursing was like, well, this just seems obvious. Duh. Dating was hard because I had a lot of belief systems around my own value and worth. My attractiveness, my being interesting enough, right? Whatever it was. I also feel like they're kind of talking about your profile and like it's written in a way that sort of isn't authentically you. And it's this idea of like, just step into being fully authentically you. I also feel like whoever comes in is younger than you. So it might be that maybe you need to shift your age range. Like maybe you have 2 years younger and it feels like maybe you should change it to like 7 years younger. Does any of that resonate? Those are things I feel like would be beneficial to you to opening up. Because I feel like the man who comes in is younger than you. Are you still there? If anybody wants to start doing picking their cards, we'll do that, and then I'll keep kind of going back and forth with Carly just so we can move along because it's already 12:30. Dragon Path. Trust Your Vibe, Woodland Wardens, Green Witch, Moonology, Wisdom of the Oracle, Spirit Animal, Past Life, Enchanted Map, the Crystal one. If you don't want readings from any of those, let me know. Those are free. Oh, silly me. Shady, you entered a question? Oh, you paid for a reading. Okay. What's your question? I've been working on my profile, but maybe I need to be even more specific with that and my manifestations. Yes. I would even say like, as you're writing, it's like, I'm magnetic, because I feel like there's a feeling of like, maybe I'm not magnetic and maybe I'm not like that kind of a person that people are drawn to it. Like people just aren't drawn to my profile. I don't know why, but there's something around the intentionality around it. Hang on. Shady, what's your question? I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Do I have any spiritual gifts? I know I'm good at reading people, but I want to be able to find missing children. So there's two sides to that one. Shady. I feel like, I don't know if I'm saying the name right. Sorry if I'm not. Chatty. I don't know. Probably saying it wrong. I feel like I would say clairsentient. Some people say empathic, but I say clairsentient because that's like opens you up to more than what empathic means. So you feel things, right? I feel like my clairvoyance is a bit fuzzy. You can open all of these up, right? And you can do whatever you want. So there's no like, you're not allowed to. I don't know that you will though. I almost feel like I start to move into it and it becomes too much. I feel like this is through your own like sort of like investigative work, not through your intuition. Finding out that things are not always what they're presented to the public and feeling so like how dark it really is. And choosing to take a step back from that. So like, just think like with the Epstein files, is like, there's so much more that's planned and Like when they say that, oh, everybody found out about the Epstein files, like everything would fall apart. There's so much to that of why it's like how much is planned at the detriment of others. And I feel like you're going to actually find, rather than doing things intuitively, investigative might be the way that you go about it, because it feels like the intuitive part is too overwhelming. I don't know if that resonates when I say that to you. So maybe it becomes more like becoming an investigative journalist or something like that. But I feel like not necessarily doing it solely on like doing intuition, because I feel like that becomes too overwhelming for you, because I do feel like you're very empathic or clairsentient. You're welcome. Cherry with a hard sh or a sh. Do you feel like you're clairsentient? I feel like you're a little bit clairvoyant, but I feel like it's a little more muddled. It's not as clear to you. All right. It does. Okay. And I feel like your strength lies in the research, because it offers like, not that what I do is incredible, but credibility, where it's like there's easier movement for it. And you're good at it. Okay. So Katrina is Green Witch. The Early is Green Witch. I'm good, Violets. How are you? Did you want a card? Violets is, oh yes, you did. Enchanted Map. One thing I need to say in my head is, because I do this when we talk about thought process, you're going to see how it works. When you ask me an intuitive question, but I'm giving you answers as like, yeah, but, and I give you the manifesting, like this is how you shift it. I always feel like, oh, I've disappointed them. I'm not really doing my job. So I have to shift that, because that's like not a great thing to put out there. Oh, you want me to do the tea leaf oracle? Okay, I will. But it's more than one card. So I don't know, we'll see how that works. Okay. Okay, who else wants a card? If anyone else is here. So here's the thing. I don't think either way I'm not being honest. I feel like you come here for an intuitive reading, and then I feel like somehow I'm letting you down because I'm giving you the manifesting answer. But I know that truly that's what you're supposed to have, right? Like from my standpoint, like that's what they want me to teach you, if that's the way I get the answer. Because sometimes I get straight intuitive reading, whatever. And I have to tell myself that is what it is, and tell myself that you're okay with it, rather than feeling like, oh, now you feel like you're getting let down because you're only getting a manifesting, because then I manifest more of that let down feeling. Yeah, Samantha, you can pick green. You want Green Witch? Okay. You can pick something else if you want. You can also have the tea leaf. I felt like I could do that for you today. You tell me what you want, Carly. You'll do Enchanted Map? Okay. Chatty, the rule is you have to pick your card. That's your intuition knowing what deck you're drawn to, because I'm doing them for free. I don't want to do any more work than I have to. Samantha, I don't want to know anything about you. You're going to see that the card will fit you perfectly. Somehow. It's always how it happens. All right. All right, Cherry, what do you want? What card? Is that the one that you guys see the biggest? Is that why that's the one you can read? That's why. I got to move that. All right, Carly, do you want me to do a tea leaf for enchanted map pick? All right, this is for Katrina. Katrina wants the green witch. What does Katrina need to know today? Winter. And there's something about the cardinal. So if that's a sign for you, some loved one or whatever, let you know that's a sign too there. An ending, recharging, reflection. Claudina, pick a card. I've got the Green Witch, Animal, Spirit Animal, Enchanted Map, Moonology, Wisdom of the Oracle, Woodland Warden, Trust Your Vibes, Dragon Path. I'm just trying to figure out what page this is on. All right, card meeting. Winter is a quiet time. In nature, most plant life is suspended, animals are hibernating, and food becomes scarce. Winter tells you that the end of something is coming or has already happened. Don't lament. This also means there is an opportunity for something new and better. In every end, there is a beginning. The cycle of nature never stops. The winter card encourages rest and reflection on what has come to be. Mourn if you need to. Identify the things that went well and what you want to do differently. As you engage in this reflection, remember to look ahead to spring and begin to consider what projects you'd like to focus on next using the knowledge you've gained from this time of assessment. Reflection. What big lessons have you learned? And after slowing down and allowing yourself time to reflect on what has ended or passed. Okay, and then Be Early wants Green Witch. All right, Claudina. You're welcome, Katrina. All right, so this is for Be Early. Cauldron, creation, opportunity, and caring. Self-transformation, one of the central goals of witchcraft, can be intimidating. The Cauldron card reassures you that brewing change is a chance to create new opportunities for yourself as well as those around you. This can be as simple as adopting a fresh outlook. The Cauldron encourages you to think creatively and try combining things that may not seem to work together at first glance to solve a problem. The Cauldron is also a symbol of nourishing yourself and others. Caring for those around you and an enriching pursuit is an enriching pursuit for all involved. Reflection. Are you avoiding brainstorming different solutions when faced with a problem? You can also manifest that solutions always come easily. I always have a solution. There's always a solution to a problem. Okay. Enchanted Map for Violets. What does Violets need to know today? You're welcome, Samantha. Flying 20. This came in reversed. I don't know if this one has reversals. I can't remember. So if there's reversals, I will read it. Yes, there are reversals. So it came reversed for flying like that. I have to kind of hold it off to the side. You're welcome, Be Early. So you have the power to see things from a higher perspective. Reversed says, when you see the flying card reversed, it is a gentle reminder that there are times to take flight and times to remain grounded. And for now, you must avoid overreaching. There is still work to be done before you earn your wings. Be patient. What you seek will not be out of reach forever. Remember the story of Icarus in Greek mythology, whose wax made wings and overconfidence brought him too close to the sun. He perished because he didn't realize his limitations. Humility is a great power, and now you must exercise it. Doing too much, too fast, too soon only serves to prevent a beautiful flight later on. It's also the idea of like creating a foundation that's not a false foundation, that knowing that taking the time to do it and create something that's sturdy is better. I need to dye my hair. It's time. I'll do that later today. Yay. The patience word. You're welcome, Violets. Carly, you want the tea. Okay. Let's do the tea. This is why this one is a little more. I don't usually do it because you have, I'm going to show you how many cards are in this deck. So it's hard to shuffle. The stack is this thick. So it's harder to shuffle. And I always feel like one card doesn't always do it. So we'll see what we get with this. Let me see. I'm going to split it and do. Let's see. Okay. Because I can't shuffle it all together. All right. What does Carly need? We're going to do a 3-card draw. This one. I'll try and do it this way. There we go. This one flipped right away. Okay. All right. So I've got the hat, the bowl, and the eye, and I will figure out what the hell that means. I don't know. I just want these to all like fall everywhere. All right, so you have the hat, which is you will be playing a different role. I don't know if you can see that. Followed by the bowl, which is plenty of material things. So it sounds like abundance is coming in, but changes are happening. And trust your intuition about the things that are coming and happening. So perhaps that's the change around, you're studying about your dating life, you're changing your hats, you're going to be moving through this differently, and abundant things will come in. Trust your intuition around what happens. Trust the red flags. Trust that you're seeing what you need. Let's see. I'll read the 3 things. All right, hat first. You will be playing a different role. A hat is silhouetted against the sun rising over the ocean. The ocean represents the cradle of all creation, while the sunrise indicates new starts and fresh ideas. The hat signifies that you will soon be playing a different role in your life. Perhaps you become a girlfriend. Good. Check connecting cards to see. So hat, bowl is plenty of material things. A beautifully patterned bowl is filled with every type of luscious, ripe fruit. This symbol indicates that you will enjoy plenty of material things. However, you should pay heed not to place too much value on material things. For like fruit, which can soon rot and has to be thrown away, material possessions can soon lose their luster and appeal. So maybe don't look for superficial things in relationships. And then I don't know, I keep connecting it back to that, but I am, and so on and so forth. Psychic ability, trust your intuition. And I, as all-seeing and all-knowing, stares back at the queerest. This card tells you that you have psychic ability. We know that, and should trust your intuition. You should. You should also be advised that the times you go against your intuition are the times when you will make your biggest mistakes. We learn from mistakes. Okay, so that's yours. Does that work for you? Great. Samantha wants Green Witch. This one I can put back. What does Samantha need to know right now? It's so interesting because you got, I'm going to read two of them to you. They're both reversed, but I pulled the Cauldron, but this one wanted to come out too. So Cauldron reversed. Oh, wait, I don't think we have reversals in this one. Cauldron and the Walking Stick. Let me see. Do we have reversal? We don't. So you heard the Cauldron earlier. It was about, I don't know what it was about. 43, was that the page it was on? Yes. Self-transformation, one of central goals of witchcraft, can be intimidating. The Cauldron card reassures you that brewing change is a chance to create new opportunities for yourself as well as those around you. This can be as simple as adopting a fresh outlook. Mindset work, doing all of that right now. The Cauldron encourages you to think creatively and try combining things that may not seem to work together at first glance to solve a problem. The Cauldron is also a symbol of nourishing yourself and others, caring for those around you in an enriching pursuit for all involved. Are you avoiding brainstorming different solutions when faced with a problem? Or there's always a solution. I'm always able to easily find the solution to the problem. Bam. Nothing's ever a problem because there's always a solution. Bam. New thought process. Walking staff, support and encouragement. Let me look at that one. Have a great week, Carly. 89. The walking staff is a home providing is as at home providing help and support when you are tromping through the woods, as it is comfortable in a garden being used to prop something up. In essence, the staff is a form of a wand, a magical tool used to direct energy and aid in focus. The walking staff card suggests that some part of your life needs more support, something to lean on or something to help you focus your efforts. Like a plant may need a stake to help it stay upright until it develops enough strength in its stem to stand alone. Your life may be easier if you have something or someone to lean on. A journey can take much less effort if you use a walking staff to give you extra security along the way. Can you identify which parts of your life are lacking strength? I would say, because I'm drawn to this, like, where do you need to change up your thoughts and work in your favor? Where are you being more disempowered? Because usually there's one area that we're really, really great at. We're like, no worries, doing great. And other areas where we're like, kind of a hot mess. That was for Samantha. Your two cards. Sherry. You're welcome, Samantha. Okay. So this one is for Sherry. It'll take me a minute to get myself organized. Okay, we're going to split it into two. Do one from each and then see what pops out. That one. Gong and an exciting event. Gong. That's the first card. The second card. Oh, interesting. July. It was funny. I felt like would come out as a timing card for that one. So we'll see. And then, so maybe we're going to have an exciting event in July. And then we're going to do this last one like this and see if anything pops out. Ooh. Yeah, one card, please. One card. Okay, got my one card. Okay. So you got gong, then July for timing. And then we got funnel, which is a period of frustration, lessons to be learned. So let's read what these say. And I'll see what my intuition says. I'm probably not going to do the tea leaf ever again. Love you so much, but this does require more work for me. Not just the reading part, but like them putting it together and understanding what they want me to say with this. Nobody's punished. Don't feel sorry about it. I agreed to it. This is my doing, but I'm just letting everybody know. Because it becomes like a reading. And this is the kind of readings that people get paid for. An exciting event. A man stripped to the waist beats a heavy brass striker. This is for gong. Striker against a large ornate gong. Something noteworthy is about to happen. This symbol foretells of an exciting event in store for you. And I think July would be the timing on that one. And then I think I know what this is. Hold on. Funnel. A period of frustration, lessons to be learned. A funnel heaped with grain stands in the neck of a large stone bottle. It will take a long time to fill the bottle, as only a small amount can go through the funnel at any one time. A farmer has many bottles to fill and is impatient with the amount of time it takes. This symbol indicates that you will go through a period where you will be frustrated because events move slowly. But at the end of this period, you will find you have learned a valuable lesson, which you would not have learned if events had moved faster. So I think that what's happening is something is taking a lot longer to happen than you wanted to. And in July, there will be an event that shifts that. I think it's around manifesting and finally seeing that, like what you've been manifesting, you shift up a thought process around something, maybe from hearing something here that brings in the manifestation in July. I know it's like a year from now, right? But that will change everything. So things might be moving slowly until then. Okay. That's okay. We learn that way. All right. And then the next one is Shar. So that one was for Sherry. This one is for Shar. And then Claudina will be Trust Your Vibes. So this one is for, that one was for Sherry. This one's for Shar or Cherry. Shar, what does Shar need to know today? Haystack. And I actually want to pull this one too, horse, and then I'll pull one from here. That's what we'll go with. Dark man. Dealings or relationship with a man with dark complexion or hat. We'll see. Haystack. Karma. You will reap what you have sown. I feel like this is on the good end. Horse is a short journey. Haystack. Karma. You will reap what you have sown. A newly stacked haystack sits in a field of fleshy mode. Hay. It says mown. MOWN. Hay. The sky is blue, but dotted with a few white clouds that it could turn into thunderclouds. The haystacks represent the karma that you will reap. If you have sown good karma in the past, then good is what you will reap. If the karma was bad, then bad karma will return to haunt you. I feel like it's good. I don't feel like it's bad. And the horse is a short journey. A prancing horse beckons you to mount it. This card signifies that you will have a short journey during the time frame indicated. However, the card does not indicate whether the journey is for business or pleasure. I feel like it's pleasure. Maybe with a dark-haired man. Dealings or relationship with a man with a dark complexion or hair. A man with dark hair or dark complexion is shown. His face is inscrutable. You will have dealings or a relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair. However, the symbol does not indicate whether the man is a friend or foe, or whether the relationship will be a romantic, business, or social one. So somehow this dark-haired man fits in. I don't know what that means, honestly. My sense of this is pleasure. I had an exciting event in July. I went to the beach. Oh, okay, great. So maybe the manifestation is to move to the beach. So, Shar, that one is for you about the dark-haired man, the horse, and the haystack. So I think it'll be a short time to reap what you sow. And somehow there's a dark-haired man involved in that. Great. Done with the tea leaves. I'm not working too hard into my intuition for that. Sorry. Not to be a jerk, but. And then last but not least, Miss Claudina. Trust your vibes. You're welcome. Trust your vibes, Claudina. What does Claudina need today? Look for the divine, 27. I also feel like this is sort of like, what is that? The evil eye, meaning like you're protected. That's what it reminds me of. And there's a dolphin in there, and they're very intuitive beings. And the bird reminds me of a paloma, a dove. And doves are about peace, comfort, tranquility. I feel like those are all headed your way. The insecure ego looks at life through a dark lens, seeing the worst in people and things and expecting nothing but trouble and danger. This fearful ego distorts your view and closes your heart and mind to the good things and people the universe is placing in your path. Avoid this trap by changing the channel from ego to spirit. Look for the best qualities and aspects of people and things. Look for divine opportunity in every situation and the best in every person, even if it is highly challenging. Okay. Ask for your higher self to show you what you can learn for your soul's growth. Listen to your vibes and look for light instead of getting stuck in the ego expectations, expecting the worst. You've been searching for peace. Good. The other thing is this, what if it's not about I'm going to ignore the bad thing. It's like, what if you look at it and you're like, my expecting them to always show up the same way means they have to show up that way. What if you just start kind of like having fun and experimenting with the law of assumption and like, oh my God, they showed up and they said X, Y, and Z, and like seeing if they actually say it, it may come up in a different way than you would have expected, but like experiment with the law of assumption. It's not going to hurt you. All right, ladies. I don't think there's any gentlemen here today. I will say adieu. I hope you have a fabulous week, and I will see you next Sunday.